Okay, here is the Honeywell T775 controller, and it's really an awesome controller for the excellent, awesome, cool controller for cooling tower applications because it can do so much. You can program up to 2 modulating outputs. It's got 2 to 4 relays. This one particular model has 2 relays, one for the spray pump and one for the tower fan enable. And it's got the modulating output to ramp the drive up and down and maintain process temperature. It's very easy to program. Look at the screen here. I'll show you the screen. It's got the display, the home display. There's a home key. Press the home key, and it'll go right to the home display. Anyway, it's got, there's relay 1 and 2. Shows relay 1 and 2 as off. And it shows sense rate. It can handle up to 2 sensors. In the cooling tower application, we use 1 sensor. And right now, the temperature of the sensor is at 60. The water temperature is at 66 degrees. I've got it in this little water bath right now, but just to be able to ramp in a little ice bath to ramp it up and down. And as you pull this out, and I'll put my hand on it, you'll see the temperature start to climb back up. This is the temperature of the water. It comes with a sensor, nice 2-wire type sensor. Really nice sensor because it's 2-wire sensor, and you mount it in a well, of course. And the sensor's great because it's only a 2-wire, and there's no polarity to worry about with the sensor, so you can hook it up, the red and black wire can go to the terminals. Either way, it really makes no difference, which is kind of nice with sensors. Don't have to worry about polarity. Anyway, as you can see, as the thing heats up, relay 1 and 2 come on. So it's a really nice display to tell you what your water temperature is and what the status of your output relays are. Relay 1 is programmed for the spray pump. Relay 2 is programmed to enable the drive to run forward. So let's do some programming. You press the menu key once, goes to this, and then you press the right arrow key 1 time. And it goes right into the modulation 1. That's the output to the drive. We press the right arrow key again. The set point. I like to set my set point for cooling towers at 80 degrees, but you can adjust it up and down with these arrow keys. Up, whatever you want, down. But 80 is a good temperature for maintaining processed water. Again, the next parameter is locked in at 80. It goes to throat range. This is key because throat range, which I like to set at 10 degrees, means that at 75 degrees, if your set point is at 80, and your throat range is at 10, that means at 75 it will begin ramping the drive up, and at 85 it will be at 100%. That's key. What's also key is that, so I like to keep it there because it provides for a nice smooth control when you got 10-degree throat range. So I press the right arrow key again with the sensor, which is sensor A, and of course it's got to be in the cooling mode. I'm pressing the right arrow key to go down, and then I exit the modulation. Okay, now mod 2 we're not using, so I'm going to go right past it because that allows you to have a second modulating output and using the down arrow to go down past it. Okay, now the programming the relays are key because there's a set point for the relays. Relay 1 is again for your spray point. Press the right arrow key. The set point for the spray pump. I set that at 75 degrees. Okay, you can set it at 74 degrees. And the differential for the spray pump output, I only set at 1 degree because if you have a real high differential in a cooling tower application, it's very difficult to meet the demand of that. In other words, at 75 degree set point, the spray pump comes on at 75 and will shut off at 74 degrees, which is fine in a spray pump application. You might sometimes want to have that 2 degrees, but I wouldn't go much higher than that because it takes a lot to satisfy. If your differential is too high, set too high, I mean if your set point is 75 and your differential is 5, that means the spray pump's not going to come off till the water temperature is 70 degrees. That's hard to do. So I usually like to set my spray pump at 74, 75 degrees. So it comes on well before the fan is enabled. And in cooling towers, you have to start the spray pump before you start the fan motor. It's good for, especially when just water over towers. It's an open tower situation. It's good to have a spray pump. You have to have the spray pump come on before the fan motor. Anyway, I'll set the differential at 2 degrees for the spray pump. Press the right arrow key to move it down through the program. I don't need to worry about the sensor. Press that twice. It's set up in the cooling mode. Again, up and down arrows move and once you press the right arrow key, it locks it in. Press the exit key, it goes down to relay 2. Relay 2 set point needs to be set higher than the spray pump, so I like to set that at 76 or 77 degrees. Have about a 2 degree spread between the spray pump coming on and the enabling of the VFD to run forward. Remember that we set the modulation the output, the ramping of the drive up and down at 80 degrees. This is 77 degrees is where you want the drive to start run forward. It's key that that parameter is set a little bit above the throat range. In other words, since I set an 80 degree process modulating set point temperature at 80 degrees and a throat range of 10, meaning the drive starts to give a modulating output at 75 degrees. So I want my relay, I want my drive to enable about 77 degrees so that when the drive enables, it's not just sitting there at 0% output. It has got a little bit of about 13%, so that 13% output, so the drive doesn't start up and just sit there and grind at zero hertz. It goes up to about 15, 16 hertz. Anyway, so I set my relay 2 set point at about 77 degrees. Okay, hit the right arrow key. The differential, I'm only going to put a 1 degree differential in that because again, since we're just enabling the drive and we're relying on the ramping of the drive up and down to operate the fan motor, I'm not going to worry about differential so much. I'm going to set a 1 degree. Don't want a big differential there. Okay, set sensor A, it's definitely got to be in the cooling mode again, and I'm right arrow keying down. And basically that's it. That's the entire programming of the Honeywell T775 controller. Very easy to do, very easy to set the set points. Remember the key factors. The key factor is set your modulating output. You're modulating one output to whatever the process loop temperature you want to maintain. In this case, I set it to 80 degrees. And then set your throat range, I would say 10 degrees if you want to, because it gives a nice smooth ramping up and down. If you want a tighter control, set it to 7 or 8 degrees. But if you want a looser control, set it to 11 or 12 degrees. But typically 10 degrees works in most cooling tower applications for your throat range on your modulating output. Then your spray pump, you want to make sure that the spray pump always starts before the drive or the fan motor enables. So you set your spray pump or relay 1 output to say about 75 degrees and always keep a differential between 1 and 2 degrees on the spray pump. And then set your relay 2, which is the drive enable, which is where the drive actually enables it to run forward. Set that a couple of degrees higher than the spray pump so that your spray pump comes on first. You get a little cooling from the spray pump. But most importantly, and especially in open towers, you want that spray pump to come on first, so the tower, the water, you got a good flow of water over the tower before the drive, the fan motor comes on and starts ramping up. This is going to be your most efficient way of setting up this controller. Again, this is the Honeywell T775, the T775 controller. A great controller, amazing controller for cooling tower applications. You can get this in two-stage or 4-stage control, 2 or 4 modulating outputs. Very nice controller. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks.